go to Floridita and have a daiquiri, and said, "Oh, wait a minute, I'm going too. I want to have a daiquiri too." And we went. The musicians were playing, and then when we were walking along the street, there was just one car that stopped, and I said, "Do you mind if you can open the hood and let me see what kind of motor you have in there?" He had a 1998 Nissan motor in it. And it was, yeah, and I was like, "Wow!" And you still have that thing running? And say, "Yeah, I gotta keep it running." So he had it as a taxi. So everywhere you went, you see the cars all over the street.
Old model cars,
old models,
American cars
yes.
for the most
Chevy
part.
1950, 1960, 79, I mean, all of them.
And it carried you back. What were your impressions? How did you feel being involved in that kind of environment?
Oh my God, I really have no words to describe how is the feeling. It was just a lot of excitement, you know, and to be there in such a historic moment. For me as Cuban and Cuban American, it was quite extraordinary. And the most important thing was, I said I had my own James Bond because we had a Secret Service person assigned to us as a member of the press for the White House. So everywhere we went, he will go with us, and they will give us a special credential for every event. We were divided in two groups because the time between one event and the other one were so small that we all couldn't go at the same time to all the events. So I got the opportunity to go to 4 of them, which was the airport, the speech to the Cuban people, the joint statement by the 2 presidents, and the baseball game, which everybody was allowed to go because it was the last event of the day or his trip. And it was quite something to see him that close to me because I seen him before close, but not that close. And he was genuinely happy to be there and to be there with his family. And I wish I would have had the time to go to one of the events with Michelle Obama, especially one that she spoke to the high school girls. But you know, you just have to do what they tell you that you have to do, and you just go and do it.
And so looking back over it, you think that this was quite an experience, and it's one of the experiences that you're trying to share with other people by way of your television show. Is that what, that's what you're doing?
Yeah, my TV show is called Entertainment Circle, and it's online on my own website called Entertainment Circle Network. And the trip to Cuba, I named it To Cuba with Obama. So they put the hashtag TW and 2CWO, they will find all my coverage on Twitter, on Facebook, and all social media, and on my website. And I do honestly want to tell people that they have to go and check out Cuba and meet the people and feel the love and feel their energy and see for their own eyes what they are suffering, because politics is politics and people are people. You know, so you have to separate the two. You cannot get the politics in between the prosperity of the Cuban people, because they will never prosper. I mean, the changes in Cuba have to come within Cuba, and the Cuban people, as President Obama said, have to encourage that and promote that and have the first step forward to promote change in the government. But if we put our little step on it, it will help them in the long run. So
you think that what the president did in terms of recognizing Cuba is a very, very important step, and that it ought to be supported, and that the Cuban people were in favor of that? Was that the impression that you
definitely, got? Definitely. I got the chance to talk to a few people on the street, and they were very, very happy of his visit, and they all said that it's the first step in the right direction, and that they were very hopeful. They were really, really happy about that. So we'll see.
And so the president really made an impression, a real impression on the people in Cuba. And even the president, what did you think about, you had an opportunity to go to the meeting that he had with the president of Cuba. What happened at that meeting? How did that all come about?
That was very interesting because the Cuban president or the government is not used to doing press conference. So after they gave the statements, I didn't know they were going to allow questions. So I was lifting my hand every couple of seconds to get my chance. But President Obama took 2 questions, and he picked the people that he wanted to be asked from. And then those 2 people got the chance to ask questions to Raul Castro, and he just threw it back in their court. He didn't really answer the questions. He was like, where are the political prisoners? We don't have political prisoners. And they do, but he doesn't want to admit it. And the questions about human rights violation, and he just say, what country in the world fulfill all the human rights? Nobody does. So we feel 45 of them. That's all he said. But he sort of admitted that, yeah, we have human rights violation, but he didn't want to say which one.
But overall, you think that it was a very, very positive experience that you had by going to Cuba with the president, and that you think the president made a very, very positive impression on the people of Cuba. Is that what? Yeah,
definitely it was. And I just talked to my mom 2 days ago, and she said things are still not moving, you know, since are kind of like there were, but the parliament is in session right now, so they're waiting to see what happened after the parliament. Fidel Castro came out on television yesterday and spoke and said that he's going to die soon, and that he hoped that the Cuban people and the people that stay in power continue with his vision of the country and his revolutionary thoughts. So I hope not.
but you personally did not have an opportunity to see Mr. Castro, Fidel Castro. Did you see him?
Nobody got to see him. Raul Castro is the president.
Yeah. But you never saw Fidel.
No. I was like impressed that I was that close to Raul Castro, you know, and see him for the first time that close in person, right there in front of me. But, you know, I didn't get the chance to ask a question, so I just have to wait for my next time.
Okay, so we've got about 2 minutes, Ms. Paz, and anything that you might like to say in terms of your trip to Cuba, or in terms of the president, or whatever, this will be your opportunity to do so.
I still have to finish my coverage, and because I haven't had a chance to finish all the editing. And the other thing is that since I have to put the money myself to go for this trip, because I'm an independent journalist, I had started a GoFundMe campaign, and we're still trying to raise the rest of the money to pay the White House. I just received the first bill, and it was $4,000 just for the plane. And they're still going to bill me for the ground transportation in Cuba and telecommunications. I assume food and water, but I don't know. So I'm praying that it's not over $2,000. So that's it. It was quite shocking that it will be that expensive, but I wouldn't change it for the world.
You think it was worth it?
It was totally,
the cost that you had to pay in reference to doing that, and the images that you have, and some of the experiences that you have was certainly worth it as far as you're concerned.
Yeah, of course. It was a big step on my career as a journalist. Yeah,
I think it's a big step for the president too.
Yeah, definitely.
And to be able to do some of the things that he's trying to do, and diplomatic recognition of Cuba by the president. And
I am so glad that he got the opportunity to go before he left office. He promised that he was going to try to reestablish relationship with Cuba, and he's doing that. And the next thing that he promised